Why are you a writer?
Hey, we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to the Writing Momentum Podcast. I'm Christopher Maselli here with my wife, Gena. Hey, how's it going, Gena?
It's going really well.
Today, we're talking about finding your why as a writer. That
Yeah,
sounds like a cliche.
it does. It sounds like a cliche. We actually wondered about a fancier or better way to talk about this. But when it came down to it, we really wanted to explore really helping understanding your why. Understanding your motivation is so important.
Yeah, so why? So when you say understanding your why, you mean understanding your reason for doing this.
Is understanding your reason. Is it about sharing your knowledge? Is it about giving hope to people in the world or in a specific market? Is it about sharing something you love? All of these things, whether you write nonfiction or fiction, are important for you to latch onto so that you will do the best job that you can do.
I think sometimes that we think, oh, it should be easy to know this, should be easy to know exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. But it's very easy the more you write to find yourself writing things that you're like, why does this matter? What am I doing this
Yeah.
for? And so it's good to tap into that reason on not only the job itself as being a writer, but also on an individual project basis. Why
Yeah.
am I writing this book? Why is this important to me? Right. And so I assume there's a lot of benefits to knowing what your why is.
Yeah, there's definitely some benefits. I think the thing is a lot of people talk to me and they'll say, I want to be a writer. I have always wanted to write a book. But until you really latch on to that why, what it is that you are trying to do, it's going to be easy for you to abandon the project and not finish it. It'll be easy for you not to do it in the best way possible. Or it'll be easy for you just to kind of lose your way and lose your motivation. Like it's easy. There's a dip that happens when you're writing that if you're not careful, it will make you stop writing a project.
So it's just not wanting to always having written a book. That's
Mhm.
not enough.
I don't know that that's enough. I think that's enough maybe for something for some people that will be enough of a why. But for other people, and I would say a deeper motivation would be, why are you writing that specific book?
Yeah.
Why does that story resonate with you? Why is that topic something that you need to bring to market?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important because if you know what your why is, it makes the writing so much easier, right? It'll make you more creative when you write. It'll make you more productive when you write. It will help if you've got writer's block, right? And you don't know where to go next. A lot of times that's because we don't have the intrinsic understanding of why we're writing the book. And so so some point that we might stumble on comes up and it's like, we can't get past it, right? Because it's
Yeah,
just like, I don't know. I don't
it
know what to
brings
do next.
clarity.
Yeah, it brings
It
clarity.
brings clarity
Yeah.
for it.
And
So,
it helped you finish the book then, right? You're not just
yes.
writing it, but you're actually getting the book done then.
Yeah, because like I said, there's this dip that can happen when you're writing books where you kind of can get into that middle section that you can kind of find yourself a little bit lost. So I think it's an important part of just finding your personal why.
Absolutely. And when you find out what the why is, and I mean, really, that's what it's all about, right? Because, like, okay, I write children's books, let's say,
Mhm.
and I might write children's books because I want to feed into the lives of children. I want to help
Right.
them become stronger individuals and grow up as stronger individuals. But when I'm working on an individual book, there might be a specific reason for that book. For instance, when I wrote Reality Shift, which is my book about a boy who gets a laptop and discovers that whatever he types into it actually happens. It's really a book about the power of words. And I wanted to share this message that your words matter. As a 12, 13-year-old boy, your words, the words you say to others, the words you speak into the world, the words you tell yourself, those all matter. And so that's the message I wanted to get across in that book. But reaching kids as a whole was the reason I was, writing in the first place.
Yeah. And I think for me, I started writing and I had always kind of wanted to write a book, but I quickly discovered that the projects that I were working on were giving people hope. They
Mhm.
were giving people hope, they were giving people purpose, and that became being part of those kind of projects was really an exciting thing for me, and that counts whether I've been working on book projects or even if I've been working on newsletters or on emails or on, blog posts or articles, those kind of things that I can bring a person's story to life, or I can bring a message to life and I can help with that, that is a very empowering thing. And it gives me purpose in my writing and in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm doing isn't just helping people make a bunch of money. It's because there is a why associated with it for myself and for others.
Yeah, there's kind of there's this smaller reason, bigger reason, and it's all it's important to make sure that you've got that reason. I think it's very easy as you write more projects to get to this point where you're just writing, right? And you can write just for money, which that might be your reason, right? You want to be able to make a living
Mhm.
and work from home kind of thing. And that's okay. That's totally a valid reason. But if you don't know that that's the reason you're doing it, it might make it to where you don't have clarity when you're putting
Mhm.
these projects together.
Won't
That's
push
good.
through.
Yeah.
You won't push through those when that project gets difficult or, when you've got something else to learn, it becomes difficult,
Yeah.
to do, but if you've got that why, then it keeps you pushing. And I wanted to point out, Chris, you were talking about I think it's easy for people to think about finding their why when they're writing nonfiction, because a lot of
Hmm.
times nonfiction comes out of a pain point for the author that they wanna share, or it comes out of their education, or it comes out of some kind of something that they've learned that they wanna bring to the world.
Hmm.
But this, idea of finding your personal why is important even for fiction writers as
Yeah.
well. Like you said, you were writing to children
Hmm.
or to middle graders. You were bringing this message of this theme, right? That the power of words, it was this idea of you brought a theme to your writing, and that kind of thing becomes important for fiction writers as well, this idea of finding your why. And it can be that you love a particular genre, and so you want to just entertain people, but maybe think about it in terms of, okay, is what I'm writing just a fun beach read that helps someone kind of recharge, kind of disconnect from the stress
Which
that
is totally valid reason,
is a
right?
valid
Yeah.
reason that you're giving people just a fun adventure or fun romance
Mhm.
that they can, kind of it gives them a safe space. We've
Yeah.
talked about safe spaces. It gives them mentally a place that they can just go and be entertained and have fun and adventure for a while. So,
Okay.
it can also be, maybe you're introducing people to a part of the world, or if you're writing fantasy, maybe it's an idea that you're taking people to a new world that you've created, and you wanna share this beauty with them. I love the idea of uh, this idea of creating worlds. I believe I read that Tolkien's motivation for writing the Lord of the Rings trilogy was that he was a linguist and he wanted to explore this idea of language and bringing this beauty of language to life,
Mhm.
which I think, okay, here's a man whose work is lasting for generations now. It's beautiful. It's I mean, high fantasy. He's just created this entire world and we're still enjoying it today, but it came from his place as a linguist wanting to, and he probably wasn't a linguist, there's probably a fancier name for it, but he was looking at the root of words, I believe,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah.
what he was bringing
And
to
so
life.
so what your why might be is something really deep like that, or it might be something that's lighter, but either one's okay. And it might be for something deep like a full-on book, or it could be something light like an article.
Mhm.
And because I was thinking about that after you said that. And I have projects that I work on that are very simple, sometimes finish in an afternoon projects, right? They're not big projects, but I thoroughly enjoy them. And it's often because I know that that item is still going to either have an impact on someone or it's just going to make someone laugh. or there's just something about it that is special to me. And that's the why. I try to figure out what that is. And then I really find myself having motivation to write it. And that is important because sometimes you can get stuck on those kind of things because they can be hard to push through when you've got other things on your plate. But if you know your why, you can get it done.
Well, and I would say even for both of us, there are times that we have taken projects and worked on projects that were not high dollar projects.
Hmm.
And we've done them because of that why.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've done them because we knew we were bringing something to life that was important or that was meaningful for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was worth it for us to work on.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing that in our membership that we have on our website, if you go to writingmomentum.com, it's the kind of thing we discuss all the time in our weekly get-togethers. We get together for about an hour every Wednesday, and we have a short teaching, and then we write together. We co-write together for 45 minutes on our individual projects. It's just a way to have accountability, get our stuff done. And the writers in our space, man, they are getting things done.
They are.
But there's something about having this regular reminder of why we're doing what we do
Right.
that works out so well. So, hey, if you're looking for a group to join us at writingmomentum.com. It's a low cost $25 a month membership. Just is a great way for you to jump in and have a way to be accountable and to get things done.
Yes.
Meanwhile, this week, here's what we challenge you to do. Sit down and ask yourself these questions. Why are you writing overall? Why do you want to be a writer? What do you hope to achieve? Who are you writing for? And on those individual projects, why are you writing those?
And
Right?
even what do you hope your readers gain from what you're writing?
Yes.
What do you want to bring and give to them? Because that really is, you're giving a creative work, whether it's in fiction or nonfiction, you're giving this work to them in hopes that they gain something from it. So think about that as well. What
Yeah.
do you hope for that they will gain?
So there's your homework. Sit down, write that out. What is your why when it comes to your overall job and when it comes to individual tasks that you work on?
And then the other thing we encourage you to do is give yourself a reminder, print
Mm.
out some kind of reminder, or write it down. If you're somebody who loves sticky notes, write a sticky note or print it out that really encapsulates what your why is.
Y-
Really, really write down what your why is and then put it somewhere where you will see it regularly.
You know what I've seen people do, and this is kind of cool. They'll take and they'll create an alarm on their phone, and they'll put their why on the name of the alarm so that every day at 9 a.m., for instance, their phone rings with an alarm and they look down and they see their why right in front of them. It's a great way
Yeah.
to keep that in front of you.
It does, because man, we both know that life will come and try to distract you from that why.
Yeah.
There are bills to pay, there are family members to take care of. But if you've got that why, it'll help you in carving out some time for yourself to make that why happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, hey, if you've enjoyed this podcast, would you share it with someone who you know needs to be reminded that what they're writing is
Mhm.
important? It's real easy to share it. Usually, you could just take a link or look for that little share button, and you can send it to someone by text, or you can send it to their email, or you might even be able to share it right in the app that you're using. And in that way, they can find this kind of good stuff too.
Yes. We are so glad that you've been here with us today. We do not take your time lightly. We
No.
know that you're carving out time for this. And this also just shows that writing is important for you. When you listen to podcasts like this, it shows that writing is important. And it's one more way that you're keeping that vision in front of you
Mhm.
and that you're not losing sight of it. So we hope you will come back and join us next time on the Writing Momentum podcast.
Because together,
We have writing momentum.
bye bye.